Right now at 11, the bomb threat standoff on Capitol Hill. A man demanding to speak to the president claiming to have an explosive. Tonight, the all clear as neighbors wonder, is this the new normal? Plus, the suspect and his disturbing live broadcast reshared on social media. Tonight, we verify, going straight to Facebook with how they're handling these videos. Also, the bus driver shortage in Virginia with the start to school just days away for thousands of students. Why drivers are telling us they're walking off the job and the parents trying to find transportation themselves. The yellow weather alert.
I'm tracking storms overnight into tomorrow that could bring heavy rain. In fact, we'll show you who's under a flash flood watch and how soon Henri could become a hurricane.
And a new name, we're narrowing down the finalists for what could be the new name of the Washington football team.
All right, D, live from the nation's capital. This is WUSA 9 News at 11. And we start with new information about that bomb threat on Capitol Hill. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I'm Lorenzo Hall. For the people who live and work near the Capitol, it was a long, tense day. It all began at around 9 a.m. when a North Carolina man started going live on Facebook, you see right there, from outside the Library of Congress, tossing cash out of his window and going on a political rant. By 9:45 a.m., police had the area locked down after investigators say that man claimed he had a bomb in his truck. For 5 hours, police negotiated with him as they evacuated blocks around the library and Capitol. The threat finally over this afternoon at around 2:10 as that man surrendered, crawling on the ground you see there. His truck, the focus of attention, towed away this evening. We have live team coverage tonight from what investigators found in that truck to what we're learning from those Facebook videos. The suspect in his own words. Eric Flack is standing by with that, but we start with our Mike Valerio leading us off from Capitol Hill. And Mike, even though this ended peacefully, as you can only imagine, I'm sure nerves are still frayed down there.
Well, Lorenzo, that's absolutely right, because this is the third time that the Capitol complex has been locked down like this year alone. So the truck and the crime scene for our backdrop here are gone tonight, but this investigation is still going.
If you blow my truck up, man, hey.
Police said he held the heart of the hill hostage. WUSA 9 first to confirm 49-year-old Floyd Ray Roseberry of Grover, North Carolina, pulled up in his truck around 9:15 this morning, streaming his bomb threat on Facebook.
I don't want to die, Joe.
He addressed President Biden and said he held a detonator. Police ultimately found no bomb, but said possible bomb-making materials were found.
Information and evidence of what was in the bed of his truck. And there were some things that were concerning.
The standoff lasted for 5 hours, with the man surrendering on the ground. Feelings of fear were slow to dissipate.
Place just got opened back up. I mean, the riots, I'm getting chills thinking about it when I was explaining it to my kids. I mean, they don't know that stuff. And I mean, we're here in 6-8 months ago, this place was under siege.
Neighbors like Sharmila told us the peaceful ending felt like a weight lifted.
Yes, I'm relieved, absolutely. And, I have great faith in the Capitol Police.
But nearly 8 months after the insurrection, those on the Hill simply asked, when will this temperature of anger end?
What purpose is that going to do? I mean, life's still going to go on, everything, daily routine's still going to happen.
We've always been on alert on the Hill, but just another reminder that it can happen any day.
Okay, so overnight and into the morning hours, law enforcement are going to try to discern any kind of deeper motive, Lorenzo, beyond what we saw in that Facebook video earlier today. But Lorenzo, I got to tell you, one thing before we go, law enforcement have been telling me all day, sort of a lingering sense of anxiety that they have here, is that a month from yesterday, there is a planned protest scheduled for the west front of the Capitol. It's called Justice for J6. It's being run by people connected to Steve Bannon with a goal of supporting insurrection defendants. So the fear, the anxiety here is this is just a taste of what's left to come. The permit protests, or the protest permits, I should say, still have not been granted for that action that's set for September 18th. Lorenzo?
Yeah, but this right here, Mike, what happened today is another reminder of the political temperature in this country. Mike Valerio, thank you. Now to more on the suspect in that distressing video broadcast live on Facebook. Now, we're not going to play the entire video tonight, but we want to give you some insight into what may have led someone to do this. In a moment, you're going to hear what Facebook has to say about the videos. But first, WUSA 9 Chief Investigative Reporter Eric Flack with the video and the connections to the insurrection.
But I promised my wife I'd be home Sunday. whichever home it is.
As he drove toward the U.S. Capitol in a pickup truck he claimed was filled with explosives, 49-year-old Floyd Ray Roseberry live-streamed himself for more than a half hour on Facebook.
Because I'm a patriot. I love this land. I'll die for this land.
Before the platform pulled down his feed and his page, Roseberry echoed the same anti-Democratic Party fervor that engulfed the U.S. Capitol during the insurrection on January 6th.
Well, Joe Biden, the South's come.
A number of judges ruling on Capitol riot criminal cases have openly worried in court that the sentiment that drove the violence and chaos January 6th remained bubbling in communities across the country, and that further acts of violence in Washington, D.C. were a real threat. A stark reminder for everyone who lives in and around this city that the events of January 6th are not behind us and remain a concern for both law enforcement and for the people they're sworn to protect. We dug into Roseberry's criminal history. There was a larceny conviction back in 1989. He got probation and then a resisting arrest conviction in 1993 where he served 2 months behind bars. But since then, really nothing until today. Back to you. All right, Flack, thank you. And that Facebook video and his entire profile was pulled down a few hours after it started going viral. Tonight, our Verify researchers reached out to Facebook to find out more about that process. Facebook telling us they are in contact with law enforcement and confirmed that the videos violated its dangerous organization policies and said it will remove any reshares of them that do not, quote, condemn, neutrally discuss, or provide neutral news coverage of the incident. They're also temporarily preventing other people on both Facebook and Instagram from creating accounts with the same name as that suspect. Now, you can read much more in our extensive coverage on this case right now in our WUSA 9 app. We'll be posting updates there as soon as we get them.